All right, welcome back, everybody, to the Not Fancy League. As always, I'm Rob,
And I'm Tyler.
and we are here recapping Week 5, previewing Week 6, and let's jump right again into our standings update. So as you can see right here at the top of the West Division, we got the still undefeated Team Arias. Any thoughts on the fact that we still have a 5-0 team in the league, Tyler?
They're true a powerhouse. They play better defense than everyone else in the league, clearly. Somehow they have the points against them is so little. It's like, over a little 100. It's unbelievable, but still showing up every week and undefeated with a D- grade. So
Yeah, a D- grade, sitting 5-0. But it's the thing, 100 less points against than everybody else. But I guess that's the way luck works. I don't totally know, but yeah, sitting there 5-0, absolutely blowing me away. Lost. My team just absolutely crapped itself, as does every team every time they play Team Areas. But moving on to the very bottom of the standings, we still have an winless team, an 0-5 team in Team Blasi that has scored 60 less points than everybody else. You have any thoughts for Team Blasi? Anything that might be going their way? Like, what are you saying to this team and this guy?
yeah, they're definitely probably just at this point with a 2% chance of making the playoffs, according to ESPN. I would just start, if you had anything to trade, start bombing it up. But I think they're going to go ahead and go on another loss this week as we preview, a little sneak peek of preview this week. But yeah, a real matchup of the Giants this week coming up. But it's kind of stayed pretty chalk this week. Like no big switch ups, kind of same old.
Yeah, a big loss for Payne and the McManus, but we'll get into that. Big loss for Where's DeMarco Murray, but we'll get into all of that and more here in a little bit. But before that, Tyler, we got anything before?
Yeah, we got to do the L's of the week. So the L's of the week, we'll start it off with a good one with Rob benching Gabe Davis. Gabe Davis having a career game, having two long bomb touchdowns, one with 98 yards, and Rob leaving him on the bench the same amount of points that gave him a win this week. Do you want to touch on that a little bit?
Yeah, I started Brandon Cooks. I think he got a whopping 4 points. Gabe Davis, I think, was over 30, and I lost by 20. So that's the difference right there. That would be me feeling much better right now and not considering blowing up the team. I'd definitely still be in the playoff hunt. Feeling a lot better about myself. But going into the L of the week, we got someone else on the other side. Tyler simultaneously starting Christian Kirk and benching Breece Hall is my L of the week. Breece Hall had his first big game as a pro. He looked really, really good last week. Over, I think, almost 200 scrimmage yards. He looked awesome. And Christian Kirk, I believe, had 2 points. So that was a tough look for Team Toman. But it's all right. No, it's now the Danger Witch. Now it's a tough look for the Danger Witch.
The newly formed Danger Witches.
Yes. Yeah, and then
that was a tough break.
Yeah.
But probably going to stick with that roster anyways. But we'll see what happens.
We will see. Moving on to the MVP of the week, I'm going to pick all of the running backs on the Rock Springs Football Club. Every single one of them went over 25 points. Derrick Henry, Nick Chubb, Delvin Cook. People are asking how he assembled a unit of running backs like that. Derrick Henry, Nick Chubb, and Delvin Cook. They're all three pretty good. Longevity maybe not there, but as of right now, best running backs in the league, I think by far. Those three are all pretty good.
Yeah, for a win-now strategy, these are guys you want / need to win. Very solid stuff. And then for my MVP of the week, I got to see him live this week. Justin Jefferson, probably one of the best. Probably at this point right now, the best receiver in the league. Absolutely just torching the Bears in the first half. Kirk Cousins looked like a god in the first half. It was so brutal to watch. We probably put in the clip right here of the strip at the very end of the game, and our buddy who's a Vikings fan and my reaction are two different. So we'll probably put it in right here. And Justin Jefferson's just amazing, and that's what he does. And he dropped like 34 points.
Yeah, he
was now head into the recap of the games. We got the newly formed Danger Witches. Shout out to Russell Wilson versus the Standard, with the Standard taking the win with 114-91. Pretty bad game. Not a lot of scoring points. My team had a lot of okay players, but then a bunch of players. The defense with negative points again. I figured that out.
Find a new
Christian
defense.
Kirk. Yeah. Yeah. And then Christian Kirk with that 2 points. Like, a lot of people did okay, but nobody, like, boomed. And so when you got a lot of people playing like that, you can't get a lot of wins. But having Josh Jacobs drop 30 points, I was not expecting that
Yeah.
happening. But, yeah.
He didn't need to drop 30, I don't think, in order for the Standard to get the win. He just needed to get a few points in order for them to secure the victory. And he went above and beyond on Monday, having his best game in a really long time. Might have been the best game of his entire career on Monday night, Josh Jacobs. As for the Standard, nobody really went crazy other than Josh Jacobs. Quarterbacks looked young, threw a combined 0 touchdowns, and they still got the win. T. Higgins with 0 points, still got the win. So just enough for the Standard to be able to scratch out a win this week. Staying in the playoff hunt, just kind of sticking around, lurking, as they say. Moving on to game number 2 we have of this week, we got Squigs versus Team Blasi. And this was just Team Blasi not really showing up. He had 2 guys show up, Jalen Hurts, Damian Pierce. And for Team Squigs, maybe the team of the year so far, the Cowboys Defense is, I guess you could say, player of the year, but it's not player of the year. Team unit of the year, the Cowboys defense went crazy. Dropped 22 points this week.
Yeah, I mean, the Cowboys defense is probably, the best defense in the league right now?
I think fantasy-wise, I think just in general, all in all very, very good. Yeah.
Very scary. And then everyone else on the team provided, like, double-digit points other than, like, the kicker. Or no, sorry. Oh, yeah, he only got 3 points. I mean, there was Pat Freiermuth that dropped, but then he had a lot of solid help from the receivers. Squigs just had a really solid overall performance, and Blasi just, not scoring points yet. But, I mean, still probably just not his year, so he's still got a lot of young talent. So,
and
looking to probably get that first overall pick.
Yeah, that's what he's looking at right now, staring at one pick in the face. Could be a very valuable pick to try to move at. And I know there's a lot of teams like that that'd be very interested in such a high, really pretty pick, like the first overall pick.
I would definitely trade. That'd be a high trade value if somebody would want that pick. I would definitely be interested. Yeah. But yeah, it's going into Rock Springs versus McManus. That was just Rock Springs carrying on the domination with 189 points, absolutely dominating. Pretty much everyone on his team just showed up. It was, Gerald Everett is the black sheep in this with 1 point, but everybody else was just so
Everybody
good.
else was crazy. Yeah, absolutely just all together full-on impressive, and that is taking the lead in the division. So Theo is now by himself at the top in the division. Trich of Peyton and McManus moved down to number 2. They're still both in the playoffs. And this was one of the times where Peyton and McManus, one of the quarterbacks plays well, and they still didn't pull out the win. It was just a little bit too much from the Rock Springs Football Club. Like you said, everything kind of came together. They looked super, super good. And moving on to what was our game of the week, that ended up not really being much of a game at all, was Money Manziel versus Team Arias. And this was just my team falling flat on its face. Nobody did anything. J.K. Dobbins threw out 4 points. Brandon Cooks, I'm an idiot for starting Brandon Cooks. Mark Andrews continues to produce. I'm a genius for picking Chris Olave. But Josh Allen's just really, really good at football. I don't know why I didn't take that into account for my draft grade, but man, Josh Allen looks pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, Josh Allen, insane, inhuman first half. And then, it was just another week that you disrespected his draft grade last video, and now the gods are still angry. So they gave Adrian another win, still being undefeated, and now staying the only undefeated team so far.
Still continuing to be, driving me nuts. But yeah, he's still there.
Then heading to the was a close one coming towards the end, especially on Monday night. Where's DeMarco Murray with the Field of Dreams? DeMarco Murray's team trying to come back with that Travis Kelce 4-touchdown game, but just wasn't quite enough with 176 to Field of Dreams 181. Austin Eckler, 3 TDs, I believe, for 35 points, just a solid performance. And Kirk Cousins, that first half was just, like I said earlier, he was so good. I think he didn't have one incompletion in the first half.
Yeah,
he was so good.
I think he had his first 17 in a row. He had his first 17 passes in a row, which is pretty good. I'd say that's a pretty good quarterback. It's someone that could actually do something like that. But yeah, I was watching the end of this Monday night game with Alex because he came back from Minnesota and we were watching it. And he kept thinking there was no shot. And Travis Kelce just kept catching touchdowns. And then Devontae Adams late in that game caught that deep ball touchdown. So he was within 5 points, and the Raiders had the ball. And he has Derek Carr and Devontae Adams. I think if Devontae catches that one pass at the end of the game where he gets sort of bobbles it and only gets 1 foot in, where's DeMarco Murray could win this game. So this one came absolutely down to the end. To drop 176 and to not win the game, that's got to be really, really tough. But he's still sitting second in his division, so I think things are still okay for us. DeMarco Murray still in the playoffs, exactly where he wants to be. So moving into our Week 6 preview. I finally had a better week than Tyler did with our picks. I'm sitting at 6-9. Tyler's sitting at 9-6. So I'm only 3 games back with a lot of games to play. We still got a couple of weeks of football here before we kind of start sweating one way or the other. But I'm not getting blown out. I'm not going to lose every single week. So for the first time ever, I made some progress. But
Yeah, it was a good one. I mean, we pretty had opposite picks. We had some good picks, but yeah, start chawing back. We'll just go ahead and look preview for this week.
Yeah, so starting it out with the Standard versus Payne and the McManus. We don't have any teams playing anyone in their division this week. Everyone's playing across the division. So starting out there, I'm going to have to pick Payne and the McManus. They're in the playoff hunt. The Standard really hasn't showed a lot of promise consistently here yet. He's starting Trevor Lawrence and Kenny Pickett. So as you can see, he's kind of playing a little bit longer term here with these young quarterbacks. So I'm going to go with Patrick Mahomes and Lamar Jackson this week.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Payne and McManus. Their teams are so good. Looking at a team with Patrick Mahomes and Lamar as your two going against, whereas Pickett and Trevor Lawrence, it's pretty. I'm going Payne and McManus. Going to the week after that, we got ourselves Team Squigs at 3-2 and Money Manziel, Rob here with a 2-3. I think I'm going to go like I usually go against Rob, but this time I actually think Team Squigs is going to beat Rob. Going to get the second losing streak on Rob, but I think so. What about you?
I'm going to not pick myself. As
You're not.
As people in this league can see, they will see, moves are going to be made here for my team here shortly. Things are going to be trending towards a certain direction. So I'm going to be picking Team Squigs this week. Read into that as you may. But there are players on my team that are currently, I would say, are more available than they were 1 week ago.
Yeah, you have currently an unopened wide receiver slot, so we'll see how that plays out.
We'll see what that looks like.
Yeah.
And then moving on to Fields of Dreams versus Team Arias. The team that was absolutely going crazy dropped 180 points versus the undefeated Team Arias. Obviously, you know where I'm going with this one. I'm picking Fields of Dreams. The win streak comes to an end. Come on. It's got to happen here at some point. Come on.
You know, I love just watching you crumble on this every time, but I think this week, unless Team Arias get some reinforcements this week with, I don't know, either waiver wire or trades or something, I'm going to have to go Field of Dreams with this pulling out the wing right now. I don't know. I just feel like something's going to happen here.
Something's going to happen. So are we all have the same pick so far? All 3 of our picks are the same?
Yeah, it's pretty bad right now. So this week...
This should be a toss-up. This last game should be a toss-up. No, there's 2 more, but this one you're going to do right now is a toss-up.
Yeah, where's DeMarco Murray, Rock Springs Chalk, 2 like one of the best teams in the league, like we've talked about almost every video. And I think I'm going to go with my boy, where's DeMarco Murray. I think he's going to pull out the win here. What about you, Rob?
I'm going to go the other side of you just so we can have something different. Rock Springs Football Club. I don't think you can really go wrong with either of these picks. Both teams had great weeks last week. Best running backs in the league, as I said, with Rock Springs Football Club. And for where's DeMarco Murray, just kind of altogether balanced. Got a lot of good guys. So we'll see what he's got for this upcoming week. And then moving into our game of the week. This is not the 2 best teams. This might be the game for the number 1 overall pick in our draft next year. We have the 0-5 Team Blasi playing the 1-4 Danger Witch, both last in their respective divisions. I'm going to have to go with Team Blasi here. I think that they're going to kind of put something together. And not that I'm saying you're going to go full tank and try to lose this game on purpose, Tyler, but we're going to have to see what you do. I feel there's going to be some strategy in here. So I'm picking Team Blasi to get their first win of the season.
Yeah, I'm going to go with myself. I really don't want to pick an 0-5 team beating me. So I'm just going to, on the tank poll, I'm going to choose myself to win, which is kind of, I don't know how logically that works out well, but we're gonna see how that works. And yeah, to pull back the mirror a little bit, me and Robert been pulling some trades, sending to multiple same teams, and we don't know who we sent. We didn't tell each other, but
Yes.
we both know
Yeah.
maybe some big moves are happening.
Yeah, we both sent a trade to Team Arias, I think, looking for some young talent that he's got in exchange for some win now talent that we got. So we'll see if he accepts either of those. I have other things floating around, other rumors going around. If you think that you've talked to me about a trade, you've talked to me about a trade. There's, as I said, the boys are available right now. As we're kind of maybe looking towards next year a little bit more than we were before. But yeah, just do you have anything else? Anything else you want to talk about the league? We don't have an interview today. We probably should have said that at the beginning of the show. But no interview this week. Yeah.
No interview this week. Took a little bye week. Even NFL teams take bye weeks. We're gonna have a guest next week. We haven't decided that yet, but we'll figure out deciding how the games play out. We'll maybe get a guest for that. No, I think it was a good week of football. Pretty enjoyable football, and I think the league is performing pretty fun.
Yeah. I think it's going good, and I think it's just kind of exciting to see how everyone's been shaping up. There's not been a ton of surprises. Field of Dreams not winning a ton of games to me is surprising, but they'll, I think, at some point here kind of start turning it around as they start to be able to score more points. But yeah, things just keep looking good. And as always, thanks everybody for tuning into these videos. I thoroughly enjoy making them. I'm sure Tyler feels a very similar way.
Definitely, yeah.
Best roast gets $5. Yeah, and this has been the Not Fancy League. Thank you.
Thanks for watching.